Communication is key to survival. We have done it since the earliest ages of time. We formulate language, words, and thoughts, leading to humanity always continuing to grow, knowledge, and grow in speaking. Communication skills can make a difference in our personal and professional lives. We have to communicate daily with different types of people in different situations, all special to their own. In personal life, we communicate with family, friends, and peers, sharing ideas, questions, and answers. In professional communication, we speak in more of a formal tone at certain times, depending on the environment. Teachers, coaches, bosses, managers, mentors, we need to speak in order to advance and grow. After all, when a baby has its first words, it's often a prominent and significant moment of development. It's crazy to think we used to babble as infants and now daily communicate with other citizens as adults. Today we'll discuss with you some areas that I am reflecting on when it comes to my own communication, including what is a misperception that other people may have had about me, if there's one thing I could change about myself, specifically in how I communicate or interact with others, what that would be and why, and what are the most important lessons I have learned about communication. So what is a misconception or a misperception that other people may have had about me? Why do I think they perceive me like that? A misconception that other people have had about me is that they think I am shy or not a social person. Yes, I can be quiet at times, especially when I am at work or school, focusing hard on studies or tasks. I am very quiet around people that I do not know. However, when I am comfortable around people that I know well, then instead I am very social. I get along very well with all of my co-workers, past and present, and can talk to them all easily. I think that I may have been perceived by some people at past jobs or back in high school, prior to ICC, that I was not social or maybe didn't even know much about what was going on with class. Nowadays, I feel more locked in than ever while focusing in class, even if back then it could have appeared different. I'm a friendly person, and those who have gotten to know me on a stronger, closer, more personal level know that I'm a good person to have a conversation with, and that I would never turn someone down who wants to talk no matter how different they are from me. Even though I've never felt that shy, yet people may have still assumed I was shy because of minimal talking. Shyness is still very common amongst people of all ages. Researching about shyness online, I found out from an article that 24% of humans say that their shyness comes from internal factors within their control, such as intrapersonal difficulties like low self-esteem and high self-consciousness. This can weaken your own intrapersonal communication with oneself. It can also hinder interpersonal difficulties, like poor social skills and dating difficulties, making interpersonal communication a challenging thing when talking with others. 62% of humans experience feelings of shyness daily, while 82% report shyness as an undesirable experience. Nobody wants to feel shy, but it can be natural. Many people may want to change this about themselves. So if there's one thing I could change about myself, specifically in how I communicate or interact with others, what would that be and why? I would change the fact that a lot of times I do not start the conversation. Like I previously mentioned, I have an easy time talking to people and have the ability to talk to anyone, regardless of who they are. In my opinion, this is a great skill to have. However, I wish I was better at starting conversation. Once I am in a conversation, there is no worries or overthinking. I am just living in the present moment and focusing on what is being said to me. The harder part is me figuring out how to approach the conversation. Most of the time, I just simply say, "How's it going?" But when this is a stranger at work, they usually take it as more of a greeting than a genuine conversation starter. If I say, "How's it going?" to a friend I ran into, they're a lot more likely to respond with more depth and start a conversation. Probably because a lot of people do not like interacting with strangers, for obvious reasons. But I think more casual conversations could make the world a better place. We could connect with people we had no idea we had similarities with. We didn't approach them because of their age or clothes, all pointless, trivial things in life. From the source WeShare.net, I learned through research that in 2022, a recent research study found that 45% of adults prefer communication through online tools, while 30% prefer email, 12% prefer face to face, and only 6% prefer phone calls. This made me wonder, why as humans do we have face to face communication? Third place in that study. With only a staggering 12% preferring face to face communication, it makes me wonder why people would rather communicate online than in person. What are the most important lessons I have learned about communication? I learned that listening is more important than speaking a lot of the time. Because as great of a skill as speaking is to others, listening is even a greater one. Without active, engaged listeners, our speaking does not matter. Our speech is meaningless. We need people to listen to what we are saying, absorb it, and respond. Otherwise, nobody likes being ignored or wasting their time and energy speaking to people that won't respond. It's like talking to a brick wall. Language has existed for a very long time. Us humans as a species have been talking to each other for centuries upon centuries. It is forever important to develop our communication skills, no matter who we are speaking to. Communication will forever exist in our lives. Even people who cannot speak verbally have their own forms of communication, like sign language. It is important for us to understand various types of communication and how to approach different situations that we need to communicate in. Thank you for listening to my speaking as I communicate with you, understanding our communication. Thank you.